What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P here with another takeaways and reactions video in response to the Steelers' loss versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Steelers go down in a very important AFC showdown. They go down to the 5-2 Jags. They go to 4-3 on the season. Look, tough game, but let's get straight into it. Number one, the takeaway is it's hard to win without playmakers in the NFL. Minkah Fitzpatrick out mid-game because of the hamstring injury or early on. Kenny Pickett goes down with a rib injury. You have Cam Hayward out this game. You have Pat Freiermuth out this game. Even Levi Wallace is a playmaker in the secondary. He's not necessarily a star player, but he is a playmaker, and he was out for the game as well. You saw the problems that stretches. And when you go up against a quality team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are already 5-2 on the season, when one loss against them, we lost to the Houston Texans, that's going to make it a problem, a real problem, particularly in cold and wet weather that was playing in the game, that played into the game in Pittsburgh today. Point number two, I think Herbig's a ball. I'm going to keep it super quick, but you saw that punch out with Joey Porter Jr. I just love him when he's on the field. He's like a bite-sized TJ Watt. I think he's going to be really important down the stretch. Continue to love what I see out of him. Just wanted to throw that out there. Secondly, is Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb is an unsung player of this team and a reason why the Steelers have so many wins this season. Cole Holcomb, with a couple of minutes to go, has 11 tackles, 7 solo. I mean, that's huge from Cole Holcomb. He does this week in, week out. Really excited for him. I love the 55 jersey, and I love that when you were watching him play, it's like he actually honors that number, unlike what Devin Bush was. He's a Steeler. I'm really excited to see him continue to develop and get adjusted and, acclimated to the Steelers' defensive, set of schemes and the way the Steelers play defense, because I think he knows how to play that way. Number 4, you are not going to win in the NFL when you run week in, week out for less than 100 yards. Right now, again, with less than 2 minutes to go, Jacksonville has the football. Right now, 70 yards on offense, 199 total yards on offense. The Steelers are now over 55 games without 400 yards on offense. It's Mitch Trubisky's not the backup guy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But honestly, it's just not good enough for a team that was built to run the football. It's not good enough from a team with an owner like Art Rooney II, who has said a million times over the last, maybe not a million, but many times over the last few years, we want to get back to running football after what we saw in years like 2019. This isn't it. You've got Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. I think this goes back to the offensive coordinator, but the Steelers don't want to do anything about Matt Canada. So let's keep watching losses like this. Let's keep watching wasted talent on offense. It's not good enough. It's just not. There's nothing more I can say about it. The thing is, and this feeds into my next point, this loss by the Steelers explains why you need to average 24 points in the NFL if you want to be a contender in the AFC or the NFC, but particularly the AFC. When you've got Jags, teams like the Bills, despite their problems, is you can put up points. Miami can put up points. The Chiefs can put up points. Even the Chargers, when they lose, they put up points. Lots of teams can put up lots of points. Bengals, Ravens, the Steelers aren't one of them. Unfortunately, that's what it is. That goes back to the offensive coordinator. It's a joke. I'm not going to do anything about it, but I'm just saying, it's when you don't, especially when you don't have your playmakers, and people could say that's an excuse, but this is just what Canada football looks like. It's, a double-digit loss. Mason over Mitch. Ditch Mitch. I don't care what they've paid him. It doesn't work. Look at the stats. He, had that dance. People say, he had the dance around and he had the crossover play to Deontay. Well, no, he's not reading the field properly. And secondly, he's dancing around back there, so he better damn well make a play. I'm fired up. Mitch Trubisky, 9 from 18, 76 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Pickens, was the reason why he got that TD. I've got to look at the play again to see whether it was a dumb pass into double coverage or not. I mean, it's never a dumb pass when Pickens is involved. Look what he does dancing on the sideline. But the difference there, and you'll say to me, hang on, but he had 9 out of 18. Pickett had 10 out of 16. It was almost the same yards from Pickett. Also, Pickett looked way more comfortable back there, unlike you just constantly think Trubisky's going to get sacked. He had 2 sacks on there as well. Played less of the game at this point in time. It's just, he's not the guy. It doesn't look good. I actually have more confidence in Mason. I really, really do. He lights it up better in the preseason as well. Let's give it a go. What do you got to lose? I can't. yeah, no more Mitch Trubisky. Thank you very much. We've seen enough. All right, next take number 7. When we get through the 8 takes, Canada doesn't know how to use. We talked a lot about the offensive coordinator in today's show. Canada doesn't know how to use Austin. He freaking said it, admitted it last year. You've seen it through this season. Apart from the Raiders game, I just feel he's not used. I mean, yeah, they might use him in the last minute of this game, but Calvin Austin, 2 carries for 10 yards. 2 carries for 10 yards, 2 receptions for 19 yards. This guy is a Swiss Army knife. This guy is someone especially when you're lacking Pat Freiermuth, particularly at times when you were lacking Deontay Johnson, seeing nothing out of Allen Robinson in today's game. Like, he should be an absolute mismatch, not used. It's a joke when you're only putting 70 yards down, across. You're averaging less than 4 yards in your run game, and you don't use Calvin Austin. You don't try and mix it up. You don't try and, at least if it doesn't work in terms of him producing yards, you give the defense something to think about next time. I can't understand it. The next and final take from a reaction from this game, it's not going to be the referees. That we could spend hours talking about that, is the Steelers are sorely missing a strong safety. They really, really are. Now, they've got one in Keanu Neal. They've got one in the way Kazi plays. But those guys are both number 2s on the depth chart. For this defense to work, we need a 2A or a 1B, someone with a minimum performance standard of Terrell Edmonds. This isn't it, particularly when Minka's off the field. And this is way too much pressure on Minka. We've seen it with the short tackle, like the tackling and Minka coming into the slot. You can't have this be the case for the rest of the season. Get with the program, Steelers. You've got the Steelers organization. We've got a week, trade deadline, or less than a week now. Actually, what am I talking about? Less than a week to get this right. Bring in someone, make this better. Because if not, you're going to have to score a heap of points because you're not going to be able to stop the top teams. That was abundantly clear in today's game. But hey, the Steelers now can go away. They can work on this loss. And hopefully we see them bounce back. They've got 2 games coming up against Tennessee and Green Bay. Tennessee, obviously, Will Levis right now has had like 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to DeAndre Hopkins. So that's going to be an interesting situation for the Tennessee Titans in terms of when they come to the team, come to play Pittsburgh. But yeah, let's hope the Steelers can win 2 more, make it 6-3 coming out of this home stretch, and then let's see what happens close out the season. But it's just got to be better at home. It's got to be better at home. Always, it's got to be better at home for the fans, and it's just got to be better at home from the coaching staff as well. As always, go Steelers.